ever seen high school sports like this?
It's a pain endurance game. You hop on your knuckles.
Ready, hop!
It's done on closed fists, and so as you hop over the hardwood floor, you get bloody knuckles.
This is the Seal Hop. It's one of a series of grueling physical and mental challenges that make up the NYO Games. Anchorage, Alaska, a modern city, home to a fusion of cultures, where the high life meets the wildlife, and pride in the past inspires the present and the future. And home to the NYO Games, bringing together athletes from all over the state for 3 days of intense competition. But this is no ordinary high school sports tournament.
They're more than just games, they're about survival.
Athletes compete in a series of events, each of which has its own backstory based on real-life survival skills. We'll be finding out all about the surprising origins of the games and hearing from some of the athletes taking part. But first, let's find out how the NYO Games got started. And who better to tell us that than Kyle Worl. He grew up around the games.
My dad was an athlete in the 80s and 90s.
Now he's an athlete himself, as well as a coach and mentor to the next generation.
The stick wobbled.
But it's okay, we've practiced, so hopefully it'll be better.
These games have always been played in our communities for hundreds of years. They were played during the winter months. It was too dark or cold, or the weather was too severe to go outside, and so the games were a way to pass time, and we brought it into the modern age.
The first NYO Games in 1971 saw 12 schools participate. And now?
There are over 50 teams and almost 475 athletes.
This is head official Nicole Johnson. She's been attending the games for more than 40 years.
My first NYO was in 1982 as a 7th grader. From high school, I started coaching. From coaching, I moved into an official's position. And in 2004, I became NYO Game Alaska's head official. Nearly every single tribe in the state of Alaska sends a team, and there are, I believe, 270 different tribes within the state of Alaska.
Today, the games are a way of sharing and celebrating Native traditions.
Long ago, and still today, our people live off the land. They hunt, they fish, they gather. And it's not always an easy lifestyle. And so the games were intentionally made to challenge you physically and mentally, so that when you were faced with situations, whether it was out in a snowstorm or even enduring pain, these games were a way to prepare you for those situations.
Every event at the NYO Games has a story. Here are just a few of them. The Inuit stick pull is a contest of sheer strength and determination. Contestants try to pull their opponent up off the floor or pull the stick away from their opponent without jerking, twisting, or adjusting their grip.
So when you come across a seal, you harpoon the seal and then you pull out that harpoon. And so the Inuit stick pull represents that motion of pulling in a seal. They can be 700 pounds or more, and so that's a tough battle. If you let go, that's your food, right? Your family goes hungry. So you really unlock another level of strength.
The 1-foot high kick demands strength, flexibility, and balance. From a standing or running start, athletes jump with both feet, kick a suspended ball with 1 foot, then land on the kicking foot.
Out on the tundra, it's really flat, and on a clear day you could see someone on the horizon, and a high kick was used as sign language back before we had radios or cell phones. And it was a way to signal either successful or unsuccessful hunt.
And finally, we have the seal hop, the most physically and mentally demanding of all the events. Athletes must maintain a lowered push-up position with elbows bent, hands curled, and knuckles down. At the official signal, contestants hop across the floor, mimicking the movement of a seal.
The reason they would do this because as hunters, we had to figure out how to get close enough to the seal without scaring it off. That was their trick, to get close enough to the seal jump up with the harpoon, and there you'd have a seal to bring home to your community. And it's a very challenging one. You get bloody hands from it.
Now we've learned about the games, it's time to meet some of the student athletes taking part.
My name is Don Heflin, Inupiaq from my mom's side, from Nome, Alaska.
My name is Leif Richards. I live in Juneau, but my family's from the village of Igiagig.
My name's Mila Neely. I'm a citizen of the Cherokee Nation, and I was born and raised in Juneau, Alaska.
I compete in a couple of different events. I compete in the 1-foot high kick, 2-foot high kick, scissor broad jump, toe kick, kneel jump, and seal hop.
I compete in all the games, but this year at state I competed in the 1-foot high kick, the 1-arm reach, and scissor broad.
I compete in a lot of different events. I do all 3 kicking events, 1-foot, 2-foot Alaskan. I do wrist carry, dene, stick pull. What am I forgetting? Oh, seal hop, that's one of my favorites. I like seal hop because it's like an endurance game, and it's at the very end, it's just like all the leftover energy you have, just like all out.
I think if my ancestors and family were here seeing me do these games, I think they would be really proud of me because that means I'm still celebrating our culture.
I do feel connected to the history. All the games are about survival and helping each other out. Doing the games makes me feel very connected to the community and my culture.
It really connects me, even though I'm not Alaska Native, but I'm Cherokee, it kind of helps connect me to my indigenous roots. I think if someone from a different part of the world saw us doing NYO, it would kind of like inspire them.
Well, our people had to be very resilient, strong, tough people. And these games were all created to help develop those skills that they needed to survive.
Joining NYO was really life-changing because it was a space where I didn't have to hide my indigenous identity. I was able to really build my own confidence and connect with my Native identity in a positive way. I feel a greater sense of belonging in my community, a sense of purpose, and I have these games to thank.
You're good, I'm proud of you.